Welcome back to Till All Are Done, the show where we take a look at one toy for every character in the Transformers universe. Here we go, and this is it. The final Season 1 Beast Wars character, and what's the toy we're reviewing? Legacy Inferno, of course, but if you want to start from the very beginning to see all of the Beast Wars toys being reviewed, check out the playlist in the description or click the card in the corner. But the best way to stay tuned is to subscribe and see which figures I'm gonna showcase next. For the royalty, blah 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 blah. I love Inferno. He reminds me of the Transformers version of Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
I am the great Antolio. I need energon for my bunghole.
He's even got the fascination for fire and burning things. So much character and energy coming out of this one-track-minded Predacon who got the upper hand sometimes but mostly gets his butt kicked. At least he went far into the cartoon, in fact, the series finale, and he wasn't taken out by the Maximals. No, it was Megatron. A2 Brute, A2. Such a fun and frantic character that got a really gimmicked up toy that shelf-warmed in 1997, but I wanted to see how this new Legacy version of him turned out. And in the wake of this new Beast Wars Predacon collection celebrating the 35th anniversary, which packs this toy in there with an altered deco, let's see how good the mold is and if it pleased the royalty. The royalty is very pleased with your service. There, I answered the question up front, you don't have to wait for it. Here's Voyager Class Legacy Beast Wars Universe Inferno, and I'm loving this guy at this size. The head sculpt? It's perfect. I mean, perfect. I'm not being hyperbolic, it's perfect. It shouldn't be hard to replicate a head sculpt of a character, but we still fuck this up so many times. And then sometimes the designers nail the look, but they don't take that little extra leap to make it special. I'm happy to say the designers did both here. This is straight out of the cartoon in look, color, and even function. They made it so you can even open the mouth on this Muppet ass looking head so he can let his personality shine. Blah, burn! Plus, you have the metallic paint and the red light piping for the eyes and the teeth. They went above and beyond in one of the best spots to do it on this toy. They also did a great job on the thruster section on the back with the blades opening up, and you can peg the great looking flamethrower weapon onto the back for the full setup. Yes, it also spins, so playability and fun on high. We are never going to beat that gimmicked up version of the old toy, but this is still very nice. It's still a very fun way to play with this toy. They used metallic paint in all the right places, like the blades here too. Now I want to clarify a question that people might have about this toy, which is, can you put the gun inside the abdomen for weapon storage? The answer is sorta to no. You can certainly fold the blades on top of the gun and they won't snap together to close while the gun is there. For the purposes of storage though, it works, but it's gonna look weird in robot mode and absolutely wrong looking in ant mode. The original toy did this with the caveat that the peg had to stick through a conveniently placed hole in one of the thruster blades. I'm only speculating, but I bet they either didn't want to make a hole this time to fit the peg, or they didn't want to put some hinge on the gun so the peg hides away. Instead, the designers gave us a peg hole on the back for the gun to store, which looks like shit in the ant mode, you'll see it later. And then I wonder how the Takara Beast Wars Again version of this toy handles it, because it comes with two guns. What? I want an extra gun. Anything else negative I have to say about this toy is more on the nitpicky side of things. For instance, there's the hole on the top of the ant head where you can see the folded up mandibles. Just a little bit ugly, but necessary to get the look from the show. On the original toy, the mandibles are attached to the gun, and I used to just leave the gun in there because I like the look, but you can't do that here. If you leave the mandibles folded out, you unfortunately can't use this tab that clips the head into the body. So back to the original nitpick, it's a small but visible bummer that might be a bit of an oversight by the designer side of things. Another nitpick is the bug legs crossing up on each other. I really don't know the best way to put these things, and all six are interfering with each other sometimes. But at the same time, I'm happy that none of them are ball jointed because the toy longevity is going to be more, but I'll admit when the legs are, you get more freedom to tuck them away. The double-edged sword on display here for all of you to see. But this toy otherwise rocks, and it gets better as we get into the articulation. I have big nostalgia for the toy, faults and all, but I'm really enjoying what this legacy version is bringing to the dinner table. And normally, ants at the dinner table is a bad thing, but I'll eat my bacon and eggs with this toy standing there. No problem with me, just look at that Muppet ass face. Face only a mother could love.
We'll be right back.
I don't have a preamble, I just want to get right into this. Head is on a ball joint which spins 360 degrees, plus you got head nod and tilt. That's not really surprising, but hold on, the ball joint is attached to the neck on a pinned joint, which allows you to bring the head forward and back, so the head has a crazy amount of posability. And don't forget the mouth articulation, which we already glazed. Now add in shoulders that go 360 around, 90 degrees out, plus you have forward butterfly. You got a 360 bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that go a full 180 forward and can twist back and go 90 degrees. We are getting a bit spicy here. Burn! You can rotate the bug legs attached to the wrist 360 degrees, and then the wrists themselves go 360 degrees on their own separate joint. You can move the bug legs pinned at the waist in a 360 motion to get them out of the way when you need to move the arms. So wow, holy cow, those bug legs might get in the way for sure, but we have a bunch of movements here and we haven't even gotten to the lower half yet. Even with the bug head tabbed in, the waist still goes 360 degrees around. Boss. Then the robot legs go 90 degrees forward, 90 degrees outward, and 90 degrees back if you hinge the butt upwards. 360 hip swivel, deep ass knee bends at 135 degrees, maybe more. Then the feet rock inward 90 degrees, heel down 90 degrees, and then the foot can go a full 180 degrees down. That's crazy. The articulation was way better than I expected, even for the standards of the unification era, which are very good. They outdid themselves here for sure. Articulation is probably the last thing most people think about when they open the package, so when it's good, and I want to shout it out when it's good. The articulation here can really only get better if you put more uncommon, unorthodox movements on him, which he already has some of them anyways. So amazing stuff so far. Then we get into the transformation, which is just as surprising and interesting. I don't like the gap visible in the robot mode as a result, but I love the way the head splits open and you can swap the mandibles out and the robot head goes in and still keep the ant head articulation. That's the crazy thing. It still keeps the ant head articulation, and pocket that for later in the review. Also keep how the robot arms fold up here in your other pocket, because we'll discuss this in detail later. But now we have half the ant mode done pretty quickly, and we just have to transform the lower half, and it's a unique way of handling this. Essentially, the lower blade on the thruster rotates up, so that when you eventually fold it up, you leave the bottom completely open for you to fold and store the robot legs. And they certainly do after you fold up the legs in this very weird way, utilizing these double joints and rotating the waist down. I'm left sitting here admiring how they designed this transformation, putting all these unorthodox things together. It confused me at first, but I've come to love it after doing it a bunch of times, and I mean a bunch of times. The transformation really was a slow burn to earn my favor. Now we have Inferno in his Fire Ant Beast mode, and what can I say that hasn't already been said? Scale, proportion, perfect. Just like the robot mode. I can't believe how well the Voyager class is treating this toy, as he scales perfectly with his Predacon buddies. He's obviously pretty big for an ant, but thinking about his size in the show, this is correct, standing side by side with his fellow troops, and beside his legacy mates with Tarantulas and TM2 Megatron. It's wonderful. I'm not getting the new pack because I have all the figures already, but if you buy the Beast Wars Predacon 7 pack, you are really getting such a nice box set here. And they are going to look fabulous together on a shelf or a display like the one they used in the promo shots. Paint on that version of the toy is definitely nicer because it's the Takara version, but I'm not crying about this one honestly. I really like the brighter shade of red and what it's bringing to the dinner table here. I already made that joke, I'm not going to do it again. Mixed with the airbrushing they are doing to make some darker parts or more bluish color parts. Airbrushing on any toy makes me happy. They did a great job with this deco and it's doing a lot of heavy lifting in tandem with details like the deep blue ant-eyes, the light blue mandibles, and of course the dark brown legs. There are plenty of toys to call out Hasbro on for cutting budget via the paint, but this isn't one of them, and it's not one of those times. We can find other places to point out, but I'm giving them their flowers here. I do have a few negatives though with the mode, but the main criticism is with this bit of engineering here. The robot arms are supposed to collapse together with these two offset tabs, and it works to do what it's supposed to do only half the time. It's not a tight fit so often when I'm moving him around. They come untabbed, that pushes the bug legs further out and he goes into a belly crawl pose. Still a good look, I'm not gonna lie, but when I want that part to stay strong so I can have the body elevated off the ground, I don't want to worry about these two parts that are going to come apart. The great thing is that when it works, Inferno can support his own weight. That's fantastic, and it's either using pin joints to do it or the leg is mushroom pegged into the body, which is all I ever want from my bug formers. So even a negative on this toy has positive things to talk about. The other one is where they put the port to store the weapon in alt mode. Not a great spot, it just looks goofy having the weapon above his head. We talked about the jet booster section earlier, but I'm still adamant they could have designed this differently and they could have found a better way to place it inside the abdomen and maybe fit the robot legs in there too. There is enough space to have them both. Then we could put the gun underneath, but oh well. I am seriously happy with this beast mode and I have to fight myself over which way I want to display Inferno on my shelf. Do I put the wild and out robot mode with the open mouth yelling burn blah, 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 or do I shelf this excellent looking fire ant that can stand up on its own weight and terrorize passerbys? Decisions.
We're back.
The moment I saw this guy at Comic Alley, shout out to them, I knew we were going to be the best of friends. I really think they made something very special here. Sure, there's minute ways that you can improve him, but he's just rocking everything he's been given. And kudos to the designers for absolutely capturing this guy's essence at the right scale so he can fit in properly with the rest of the Kingdom crew. That's worth a big 4.5 stars out of 5 from me. And what really earned that extra half star is the surprising articulation. I felt with a lot of Kingdom toys that the designers did a good job modernizing, but they lacked a few things to bring them to the final echelon. Except Dinobot, I think that guy's awesome. He understood the assignment, and so did this Inferno toy. So get him, get the Takara version, get Antagony, which gives you the black and purple plus an extra head. Oh, is that the scavenger head? Oof, that's fun, that's fun. Just get any version of this guy and you will not regret it. We did it! We covered all the characters in the first season of Beast Wars. I hope you guys enjoyed this season of Till All Are Done as we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the cartoon. I think I said 35th earlier, but it's 30th. Oops. But 30 years of my love for this amazing franchise. Without Beast Wars, I wouldn't be doing this right now, and ultimately without Beast Wars, nobody would be doing this right now, because it pretty much saved the Transformers franchise. It's the ultimate butterfly effect of me talking to you guys right now, so you bet it's special. I have more Beast Wars content coming to the channel, but it's time to get back to the G1 Pantheon and review new characters from more episodes of the original show. It's going to require a bit of a break to collect the toys, and also, admittedly, I think my current shtick is getting a little bit stale, right? I want to come back to a new season of Till All Are Done with a bit of a shake-up to the videos, maybe with a new set, or a different structure, different editing, or maybe a different way to approach the reviews. I'm mulling over all of it in my head right now, and I'm still going to review one toy for every character in the Transformers universe, but I think it's time to spruce this series up a bit. So subscribe to the channel to catch all the other content I post here on the JR Magnus channel, and soon enough, more long-form reviews revamped. Thank you all for spending so much of your precious time watching the channel, and peace out.